All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in back into My Fierce Wings Radio, The Biz with D. David Zwane. And right now we have the beautiful Renee Graziano back with us. What's going on? How's it going, Renee?
Good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Thanks. Going great. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you for having me back.
Anytime. I mean, we've had to. I mean, a lot of people who listened to our first interview was like, David, you really rocked it with Renee. She's a really hard person. Like, you really rocked it. And I was like, guys, look, because I do this.
That's right, because you do it and you do it well. And so do I.
Most definitely. So the last time we talked, I mean, we talked about Mob Candy. Mob Candy had not just launched yet, but at that point you were just going to do like a shoe line, but now it's really a full-fledged out brand. I mean, you've got your dresses, you've got your jewelry, you've got your shirts. I mean, you've got everything, and it looks phenomenal.
Thank you so much. I put the shoes on hold only because the price point that my partner and I we couldn't agree on it. For me, it felt too high for my fans and my followers and the people that I want to be fabulous, and I want it to be affordable. So that I put on hold, and I went forward with my dresses, with my jewelry. My perfume's about to come out, and, you know, we have all the T-shirts, all the fun sayings, and I've really been working hard on it because aside from that, I have, you know, my book coming out on February 4th. I have a cookbook coming out, and then April, I have a mob murder mystery with a lot of sex and romance. It's sort of like, they say 50 Shades of Grey, we say 50 Moods of Renee.
I love it. I definitely love it. So now let me ask you, as far as like the concept for these dresses, because you have like different kinds. Like I'm looking at the party dress, I'm looking at the bubble gum, and then I'm looking at the ones with the leopard. Like, where'd you like gain inspiration to have like these different looks, but still keeping it very classic and elegant?
Well, the party dress, it was made for me on my birthday. After I had that surgery, that horrendous surgery, we called it my celebration of life party. And the dress that was made was just very fun and sexy. It was off the shoulder. That dress that you see can be worn in like 5 different ways. So it's more than just that one dress right there. And that's why it's the party dress. You can wear it to 5 different parties, 5 different ways, and everyone always thinks you have on a different dress. So we made that one the party dress. My bubblegum dress is kind of like, I was always blowing bubblegum, like as a kid. I just loved it. When the first dress we made was like in this bubblegum pink, and it had like this little pop to it. We were like, okay, this is the bubblegum dress. You know, and we kind of just went with things that had a lot to do with me and growing up. And a lot of it also stems from me being extremely uncomfortable in my own body. And for many years, I, you know, have battled with weight. And and it's crazy because I was extremely skinny as a young girl. And I put on a lot of weight when I experienced like my first relationship with a boyfriend where it was abusive, and I gained a lot of weight, and that's where, you know, the depression had set in from there. So weight was always hard. I would either gain it, lose it, but I was never at that perfect body. I never had that, you know, hourglass shape. So my dresses were to complement, they were based off of me. And then I realized that there are many women that feel like I do, and there's many women that would jeopardize their life like I did to go for surgery or to look good in a dress. And I was like, hey, guess what? We can save their life, save them a ton of money, and have them look fabulous. I'll design the dress based off of the way that I felt about myself, and that's where all the dresses are coming from.
Definitely, and I like it. And the price point for this is like great, because, you know, it could be like, I mean, it's beautiful pieces, but it can be high. But you know what? I love the fact that you with the shoes and how with your partner you decided, you know, let's not do that right now because we couldn't agree on the price points. Like, price point is everything, but I see exactly why and where you're getting at with it too.
Well, I just feel that it's unfortunate because not everybody has a lot of money. And then even if you do have a lot of money, Why in the world do you have to spend a ton of it to look fabulous when you could look fabulous for the amount of money that, we did my dresses for? My dresses are extremely affordable. And again, like, the one dress that can be worn 5 different ways, you're getting 5 different dresses, and I'm a very savvy shopper that way, and I learned that from being a wardrobe assistant for my girlfriend Tiffany Hasbro. I learned how to make money work when we had to be on a budget for dressing whatever artists we were working with. So I made it work for my mouth candy line, and it was really important. And the girl, Carla Marino, that makes my dresses, who happens to be my best friend since, we're 8, she was able to do this for me quite easily because she knows how I've always felt about myself. So it was a beautiful collaboration. Again, my friend that I was working with the shoes, it didn't work out. That's on hold. It's not the end of the world. Those shoes are coming. We're just looking for the right price point for everybody. And the T-shirts are always something fun. We can see on the TV show, I'm, quite witty and quick with my mouth. So the shirts kind of are just, part in another extension of Renee.
Definitely. And you mentioned really quick and witty with your mouth. And I got to say, I respect that a lot for you being a woman and being that way, because a lot of women nowadays, they just let, I'm going to just keep it 100 and not clean. They let shit roll over, and they just be like, oh, okay, that person can talk to me anyway. But this season, you are not holding back at all, and I'm loving it because Natalie is out of control.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you do agree. What I am disappointed about is my behavior in Vegas. That most definitely I'm disappointed about. But something that I would like to make extremely clear is this never had to do with a man. This had to do with there are things that you say and things that you don't say. Mm-hmm. It's like saying, when you turn around and say to your girlfriend, wow, your boyfriend's got a big bulge in his pants. It's something you wouldn't say. Just like you wouldn't turn around and say, oh, that man smells, the man that the girl is with, oh, he smells delicious. You just wouldn't do that. It's just a line of respect. And I didn't mean it like, I'm not mad over the fact that we all know that Michael was extremely handsome, is extremely handsome. No, not at all. Yes, that's a compliment to say he's handsome. Or, oh, that's a great cologne. What is it? Considering Natalie has a boyfriend, you would think that a woman with a boyfriend would have not been so over the top on top of another man, first of all. Second of all, you would have think she would have had enough brains to say, that's a really nice cologne. What is it? I'd like to buy it for my boyfriend. But that comes with maturity. My reaction was very typical me. That's me. I fly off the handle. I don't like to be disrespected. And then by the time we got to Vegas, yes, I relapsed. And I definitely, what you don't see is they edited a lot of her instigating. They showed you her instigating with me and wouldn't stop. But there was probably about another 45 minutes of that. And I did try to walk away twice, and I was asked to walk back into the scene. And I am sorry, and God, please forgive me, but at some point, a person can just snap, and I snapped. And I'm not proud of my actions, although I wish it was like a 3-second headlock, like a real good where you can't catch your breath for a minute. Then I would have been much more proud of myself. No, I'm only kidding. But, yeah. And what's crazy is everybody grabbed me. Nobody grabbed her. So they grabbed me, leaving me wide open, God forbid, if she did something as foolish as she did the night of the premiere and throw a glass at somebody or, physically hurt somebody. So, not that I'm afraid of anything. Whatever comes my way, I'm going to always deal with it. I am who I am. I was built to last. I wasn't built for season 1, 2, or 3. I'm on 4. I'm not the fourth quarter quarterback. You know what I mean? I'm not the latecomer. I'm the one that helped build this with, obviously, the girls that are still there. So I feel that if she has something to prove, which she does, then let her prove it. Listen, I'm not going to deny the fact that she's a beautiful girl with a great body. That, that's not here nor there. I'm not going to say that none of the girls, we're all beautiful girls. But it's got nothing to do with crossing the line. There's a line of respect that you do not cross. She crossed it. And my behavior, I could have handled myself better, but I didn't, and that's, is what it is.
Definitely. Now, just like overall, would you say that you were kind of just shocked that she would even come at you the way that she did? Because I mean, I was shocked. I mean, given the fact that you know you're older than her, you would think that somebody as young as she is, that she would respect her elders.
But you also got to remember somebody who is also under the influence doesn't have all their marbles neither.
True.
So they can hang me all they want, but everybody knows that they could never throw a rock because each and every one of us live in a glass house. I'm smart enough to leave my windows open so they don't break any. See, that's the difference between her and I. She can say whatever she wants. I know what she does. She knows what I did, whatever. I leave my windows open. Throw all the rocks you want, bitch, plain and simple. I don't really care. That's me. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. I'm disappointed because I had thought that she was a lot brighter than she is.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she's trying to earn her stripes. She's going up against the one that's there since day one. You know, she's trying to prove herself to everybody out there watching my wife. I could stand up to Renee. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people can stand up to me, but can you stand up as long as I can? That's the difference.
That is the fine line difference right there. And if she wants to try to prove her stripes and stuff like that, she can do it, but not in that way. But, I mean...
But she also knew, you know what, she also knows that there's a policy on the show. So right now, and you'll see it throughout the rest of the season, she's just pushing my buttons because she knows that my job will be taken. And at the end of the day, I am very much about respect, but I'm also about the fact that I respect my son way too much to lose my paycheck over going to crack her in her face or do some physical damage to prove that I can physically kick your ass. Because at the end of the day, who gives a shit? I know I can get my ass kicked. I'm sure Drita could kick my ass. You know what I mean? I'm probably positive that she can. And you know what? I also know that my ex-husband has, and I hate to say it like this, has kicked my ass. But what does that prove? That just proves that you can kick somebody's ass. It doesn't prove who you are. You know, and who I am is I'm going to get up every damn time. If that's what you choose to do to me, you know, like they say, the tide always comes back. Tide rolls right back in.
That's definitely true. So now let me ask you about this, your cookbook and the wine of lines that you have coming out, which I'm very super excited about because I'll be 21 soon and able to drink it.
Oh, well, okay. My cookbook is called How to Use a Meat Cleaver, I want you to know. And it's the first of we're doing the first of 3 books. And this one basically is all about, you know, how to chop it up, more or less, in the kitchen. And it's fun. But when you get to read my book, Playing with Fire, and the character's name is Rain Grazzi, and it is so exciting. It has me floored myself that I wrote my vision, you know, it's the book is based on, you know, a few people that I've dated over the years. It's loosely based off of them, because if it was really anything about them, I want the guy in the book, because he's so damn perfect. Oh, my God. He's delicious, I must say. The character in my book is delicious. That's where you're allowed to say delicious. Yes, but the cookbook is exciting. You know, my family has a food line that's coming out again. We're, you know, Graziano Macaroni Company, and we are really, this was, you know, my dad came home 6 months ago, so this is really about my family right now. And, you know, and that was another reason why I had to think smartly when it came to the TV show and really put it on a scale as, is that important? Is this important? Is, you know, fighting amongst the girls so important as what's going to happen with my mom and dad, who are, you know, my dad is 73, my mom is going to be 69. So to me, it's much more about them and my family than it is about proving, you know, I'm a tough guy. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a tough guy. I'm a very strong woman.
Definitely. And that's how you gotta be. You gotta be a strong woman and stay in your guard. And that's what I think some people just in life don't think is going to happen. You fuck with them and you try to push the buttons that they're not going to break a little bit. Hell, honestly, Renee, if I was in this situation with Natalie, I would have did just that, because you don't do
I'm
that.
sure. Right. I know a lot of people do feel the way that I do. And then there are all people that are like, well, finally someone stood up to Renee. Again, stand up to me all you want. I'm not mad at you for standing up to me, but stand up as long as I have, and then we'll talk about it.
Definitely. So now with this season, would you say that you like how this season is versus the other season? Because I know there's like not as many girls as there were.
No, this is not, definitely not a good season for me whatsoever. I'm not happy with it, to be quite honest. And I say that because when you see the rest of the show unfold, you will understand that it almost seems as if it was a vicious attack on me and every bit of my character, with the new girls trying to do everything and anything they could to make me look bad, try to take away my word, try to make it like that I'm a very strong, opinionated person. I don't have to claim to be the queen of everything. I am the queen of my throne. I know that I am the head bitch in charge of my life. And if they would like to believe that that's how it is on the show, that's only because maybe I am, like I said, very outspoken. I think we're all very much strong women. But this year, these two that come along really try to do things and say things about me that are very disturbing to me. And everyone who's been watching since day one will know that it's awful. It's really awful. And you did see in the last episode, like when after the whole fight, like Drita and Angela's reaction was, Natalie, are you okay? And I'm shaking my head like, what just happened? Like, did somebody bump their head? Because the last time I checked, that bitch deserved it, and we were all in agreement. But wait a second, somebody changed their mind and didn't tell me. So it almost felt like I feel this season that I'm fighting it alone. And I do. And, now towards the end, my relationship with Drita is much better. It's different. It's much more grown. She's being much more level-headed from what I know what she's filmed with me. Angela, I said she doesn't take sides, but it's pretty apparent that she has. And I don't think that she's against me, but I don't think that she's 100% for me. And I love it to death. It's I'm not saying anything more than I just I know I'm a very smart woman. I'm not a stupid woman, and I see everything coming pretty much way before it gets there. I'd like to believe by the time it reaches me that it's not going to be as harsh and as horrible, but unfortunately this season has been, and I think that this for me would be the end of it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I totally understand wanting to be like, you know what, this is it. Just let me, do my brand. It's a lot.
You'll understand as the show plays out. You'll understand. There's a word, rat, that nobody should ever use with me, and to ever imply that I would ever harm anybody or to ever speak anybody's business that way is probably the most disgraceful, embarrassing, hurtful, evil, twisted thing anyone could say, and these girls have gone as far as that with me, and I'm just not okay with it. Like, I'm just not comfortable with it. And again, and I say this because everybody here should not be pointing fingers at the next person for anything. One, social media is your own rat. Every time you put a picture up, everybody has access to your life. Everybody can look at that picture like, there's a quote, Jay-Z says, believe half of what you see, half of what you hear, and only some of what you see. I don't even remember what song it is, but I clearly remember it because basically what he's telling you is you can't, and then on top of it he goes, believe half of what you hear, even if it's spat by me. Like, he's even telling you, you can't believe it. It's believe none of what you see and